Hello, champions. How are you this Monday morning? I have a question for you. Are you growing in life? You see, it's so easy to just get caught up in that day to day and not really see what's happening around you, right? I was writing this and I was thinking about when our children are growing. Last night I had a lovely call with my son and we did it was the Facebook portal. So I could see his face right there. And, he was talking about his wife. And I was thinking, oh, my baby's growing up. But we don't see it when we're right next to him, right? Just like when they would go from summer to school and none of their clothes would fit. And you would see that they grew, so many inches. Growth happens, but we're not always aware of it. And so today we're talking about the signs of life when we recognize that and how to know that we are growing in life. If you don't know me, I'm Coach Tina, and I am the Empowering Champions founder. I am a certified ULA life coach using the ULA lifestyle framework, and I am a mastermind course creator. I work with wise moms who want to increase their self-worth, their net worth, and impact in the world by cultivating their greatness. I'd love to know who's on this morning. So if you are watching live, go ahead and put #live where you're watching from so that I can know more about who I'm talking to this morning. And if you're catching this on the replay, which definitely happens in our global community, I love to know that too. So if you could put in #replay, that really helps me out, gets me aware of how this is hitting home. And as you guys put those comments in, more people in our community will get notified, which will help them to get this message as well. I am a growing entrepreneur in this area, and I would really appreciate your help by making those comments. You may or may not know that every Monday morning I come on live at 8 a.m. Eastern time, and all the other time zones are shown there. But I love setting this pace of talking to you about things that are important and things that take us and help us move the needle. So today I am going to be talking about this concept of signs of life. And what we're going to do, and I'm going to make this way. Perfect. What I want to do is get us live on Facebook. So give me just a moment to pop this into the feed correctly. Apologize. This is always the worst delay. But as I said, if you're coming on and you can put in #live or #replay, add in your name so I know that you're watching, that will be really helpful. And then going to take us to our group and pin this so that other people can find it. There we go. Perfect. All right. So let's get started on the signs of life, how to know if you're growing. And this is all stemmed, by the way, from Mother's Day weekend when my mother-in-law was up visiting for a graduation of a family member. We took the time to add the dirt to our garden. We'd have a little container set up in our backyard, and then we planted the seeds that we purchased. And some of you know that I am really uncomfortable in the area of planting or growing things. I'm just terrified that it's not going to work. And so I was a little bit stressed out, but we planted the seeds and we've been watering them. And guess what? Yesterday morning when I woke up, I went outside. Actually, Saturday night when I was out watering, it was almost dusk. And I was like, Chris, there's stuff coming up. But we waited till Sunday morning and I went out and I was just so thrilled to see. And I watered. And then in the afternoon, I went back out and they had grown even more. And it was so rewarding to see these little rows with the green starting to come up. I mean, who doesn't love to see signs of life. And when it's done in that controlled fashion, you really start to recognize that it's happening. And I don't know, it's truly a blessing. So what we're going to cover today is 3 ways to know if you are growing in your life, because we don't always see the green sprouts coming out of the perfectly cleared space where you've planted your garden, right? So the first one that we're going to talk about is where there was nothing, there is now something. And I love this because, again, we planted the seeds, we took care of them, and cause and effect, the natural occurrence happened. Now, there has been a rabbit that's been hanging out in our little area, so I don't know how much longer I'm going to get my pretties out there, but it's working. The system, the plan, I'm going to go out there and water again. If it can withstand this tender new start, I'm pretty sure we'll make it to the other side, right? That's the hope. But how many times in life do you recognize all of a sudden that you didn't see any signs of growth, and then boom, you recognized it? There was evidence that what you've been doing is starting to take traction. It's starting to move things. You're starting to recognize the growth. I love this. I love this because growth is, like my middle name. I love the goal setting. And because I love the goal setting, the reason why I love the goal setting is because of the growth that comes with it. As a former teacher, when I would see the kids have that aha moment in the lesson where they got it, where they were able to apply what we were talking about, where suddenly it all made sense, that was where the growth happened. I'm sure you've experienced this too. And go ahead and put in the comments if you have experienced growth in your life where you have suddenly seen it and been like, oh, okay, now I get it. The other thing is, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger because I'm not able to see it. There we go. Change has happened. So one of the signs of life and knowing that you're growing is that change happens, and you see it and you acknowledge it, and you're so uber aware of it that there's no saying, oh, no. Because sometimes we don't even acknowledge the growth. Sometimes we're like, oh, yeah, that's okay. Like someone will give us a compliment on our weight, and we're like, yeah, but I still ate things I shouldn't have. And we downplay it. But when change has happened and you own it, you're like, you know what? I worked really hard for that. I've been experiencing this in such a way that I am aware of the effort that I had to put into it to make it happen. It wasn't like you snapped your fingers and the magic happened. There was efforting that went into it. That's when you know that change has happened and you're self-aware about it. And then finally, we have the add-on of someone else noticing. So it's not just you. Like, I thought I was crazy when I went out to the garden. I didn't know if I really saw it or not. I had to have more evidence. I had to come and get my husband and say, look. But it won't be long before he'll be like talking about the abundance in our garden, right? And what are we going to do with all these zucchinis and things like that? So when someone else notices the growth, we also want to take note of that. We want to, especially if it's one of those areas where it's hidden to us, it's a blind spot, and we're not so sure that it's really happening, we need to notice that someone's saying something. And we need to surround ourselves with people who notice. If you're not in an environment where people are supportive and encouraging and reminding you who they see you stepping up to be in your life, that's when you're going to really have growth. Because it's so easy when people naysay you or don't acknowledge your existence, let alone your growth, right? When you're in that environment that is tamping you down, that can be stifling. It cannot lead to growth. And instead, you want to have this room to expand, to explore and try seeing what potential there is underneath you, right? To grow into the fullness of who you are meant to be. So I love this about growth, and I hope that you are experiencing growth in all the ways as well. Many of you know that I have been doing a preemptive discussion about going into summer and what summer is going to look like. I've been having a series of master classes. You may have seen them. Procrastination to Desired Destination. And a lot of us have been talking about that delayed support that we've been putting into the things that we want towards our goals. And some of us call that procrastination. Some of us ignore that and just say, oh, well, I'm too busy, or there's all these priorities. And so we have a goal, but we can't ever seem to get there. We don't make it happen in our life. Something always is getting in the way. And so this Procrastination to Desired Destination series has been about setting those dreams, defining the goals, the steps that we need to take to get to the dreams, and the skills that we need to not let those things get in our way. And we did this in April, we did this in May, and now in June, coming up, we're doing the summer edition of From Procrastination to Destination. And I'm going to make it a bigger screen there so that you can see. The only thing I'm going to do different this time is that there's going to be both a morning and an evening session. I'm going to run the evening session starting on Tuesday evening, the 30th. Oops, and it says May 13th there for the morning session. Obviously, that is a typo. It needed to say May 31st, so apologies. And but what's going to happen is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday will be in the evenings at 8:30 Eastern. And then in the morning of Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 8:30 Eastern, I will do the master class for the morning session. Now, there's going to be, the recordings will happen in the evening, and then we'll be watching the recording together during the master class in the mornings. So it's the same class. You are welcome to come to both, and there'll be more discussion in the one where we're watching the recording. But I wanted to get this material out in this format to take matters for those of you that have the evenings more open to you, especially as we go into summer, right? So we're going to try this out, and this will be the last masterclass of the series as we go into the summer. And during the summer, there's going to be a hiatus. And what that means is that I will be showing reruns this summer. I'm going to be formulating my program for the fall. And I need that extra time. I need my summer. And so I'm going to be going through old material, putting it up into the lives, and we'll be working off of that old material, seeing if I can pull some stuff out of there to develop what I'm doing in the fall. And just for those of you that are new in the group and haven't seen some of my old stuff, I will have it there and available for us. So I know I'm excited about it. I anticipate that you are going to appreciate it in this way as well. And I'm really looking forward to having that summertime to get things geared up and ready for the fall. So I hope that you have a truly blessed week, that you feel encouraged and supported, and know that I am here for you as you go through learning, growing, and sharing your greatness. Have a really blessed week.